Okay, I got this shit is all figured out, and I didn't do it alone. I'm gonna weave together some things that other people told me, right? First off, right, scientists who deal in virology treat viruses like a computer program. They do tests on viruses to see if they can transmit through thin sheets of solid quartz crystal, like thin sheets of it, and from a um, pre-culture into a sterile environment. Um, but they're separated in a pathology, and there are artifacts left behind in the DNA of the virus, right? That gives telltale signatures of what software was used to insert these proteins of these various different acting pathogens. Um, the virus has no weight or mass. It needs to trigger certain synapses inside of the cell in order to um, replicate itself. Then the replication will override the cell and blast out of the cell, right? The mucus carries it out of the cell. So that's the trip wire, is that it's mucus, because the transmission of the virus is actually a transmission of a part of the cell that's dead. A part of the cell that's dead and need to be secreted in mucus. That is the part that where you can see the different approaches um, to a pathology with a different take on and a different physiology. But I still think that even without black people, there'll still be shea milk and shea butter somewhere on the market. That's one thing. Because like they're actually like the I shouldn't say they are, because it's more like reincarnation. You know, like um, you know what I'm saying. So it really doesn't. It's kind of petty to go out that way. Cause like yeah, and I'm not gonna explain it. I do it in all my other videos. Damn, should not do it now. Um, hmm. I had some other. Okay, so it's Brother Panic, Dr. Alim Elbey. There's some I can't remember a lot of discussion from like what do you want to say, European persuasion. I mean, you know, I can't really remember. I like a lot of the European persuasion shit is the shit that you would think was conspiracies from the Black conscious community, like the thing about the victims of Atlanta child murders being punched in the left eye to leave a calling card for a serial killer, which was actually a unit of trained agents is going around trying to kill people with the same MO, and it was a clickbait. It was click. You could kill people and make them clickbait. So that was some European persuasion people who are going over the case in its completion. You know how it's like things are just kind of left. You know, like when we there's like, is it interesting to have enough mass appeal? That's how they'll even decide whether or not something is worth investigating. Did you know that? So like they don't investigate things because they say it has no interest to the public. That's a way to get out. Okay, so that's why I say it's petty. I was gonna still kind of want to explain it, because it's like when I say white people don't actually exist. This is the preface that I'm intending, without acknowledging in reincarnation, whether or not you know, because yeah, the obvious, right? So, and I'm not saying, I don't really believe in spawning. I like Spawn, the character, the comic book character, but I think you have to think in resonating fields, photon, frequency language, parthenogenic replication, um, and how we get the the geometry, seed of life, flower of life, the seed technology giving way to thermodynamic aeronautics, two different technologies. When you're being taxed for thermodynamic aeronautics, right? It's not exploratory anymore. We know that you can blow up some shit. We know that you can drop a Pavway missile that will fucking dig, fucking burrow, you know, how many meters, 60 meters into the ground, some shit to blow up a little. You know what I'm saying? But you understand that's like, and plus all the shit that they blew up in movies and everything. You know, it's like, yeah, yeah. So everybody pays. Everything is paid for. Somebody paid for everything. But yeah. So it's pretty much, I'm just gonna make a video on what you already know. It's not such a bad thing at this point to make videos on other people's content because I'm weaving together how people say the same things in different ways, and where I could kind of almost gaslight the whole scenario because of saying that there's a different take and you must be on the right or the wrong. There's no right or wrong side. There's no right or wrong side. It's in whether or not you are dealing with an inherent or ingrained or in like something like your frequency is you're trying to balance your frequency. It's a continuation of a spiral meeting a spiral, right? And another spiral comes out, and that's you know, and you're your parents' frequencies at the time that you were conceived, and not any longer, and no longer than that. You know what I'm saying? But you're working out some of uh, your the imbalances that carry over hereditarily. It's like because we're just frequencies, you know. I think there's alchemical deities that try to raise the consciousness of matter, and they summoned us to so we low our frequencies. We maybe onked our frequencies down so that we can become physical, and that's the part of the contract. It's like that's where we also get the idea of religious conviction, is you have to consume. So that means that you have to be consumed. Like you feed off of energy, so you have to allow your energy to be fed off of. You know, but it's to what purpose? You want. There's a if you live in your culture, you can choose your own purpose for who you want to feed off of you, right? And you go outside of that, and it's just anybody. You're just food for anyone. That like in psychopathy, right? It's like and psychopaths can't exist without a mark. So it's kind of like if you get taken advantage of, sometimes you feel dirty, and you have to figure out how you got taken advantage of because it feels like dirty.